So, I just got back from Batman vs. Superman, and I feel so torn. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like the film, but there were some really promising things about the film as well. For example, the acting was incredible. I think that I saw human sides of these characters that I didn't expect to see. I vowed a couple of months ago, or maybe a couple of years ago, I can't remember, I vowed that I would absolutely hate Ben Affleck as Batman. And I'm gonna eat my words. I think that he was a great pick for Batman. I think that he brought such an amazing level of emotion to Bruce Wayne that I didn't see in Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne. I saw that layer of compassion and yet anger in his face, and he was just downright badass as Batman. I mean, he kicked so much butt and was so intimidating and a little bit unstable, and I think Ben Affleck did a fantastic job of representing that multi-layered aspect of Batman's personality, and I really appreciated what he brought to the role. I think he did a fantastic job. I also appreciate that they express the carnage that happened in the first film, how all the destruction was problematic. I think the political discussion that happened about Superman, about whether or not he was too powerful, was quite an interesting discussion that I felt brought more humanity to the film. I think that whole moral argument in the film really brought a lot of depth to it, and so honestly the first 30 minutes of the film I was really engaged and I was really enjoying it, and I was thinking during that first 30 minutes, like, what is all the criticism about? I'm quite enjoying this film. But it was about the 30-minute or 40-minute mark where things started to go downhill. And there were several things that faulted this film. First of all, the editing is quite confusing. It definitely is organized in such a way that it's hard to keep track of the plot. There's so many things that this film was trying to do. It was trying to talk about Batman, it was trying to talk about Superman, it was trying to even give Batman's origin story, which really wasn't necessary, and it was also trying to introduce Wonder Woman, and it was so ambitious, a little too ambitious. Also, while doing all of that, it was trying to introduce this greater conflict of Lex Luthor, and all of these conflicts, all of these stories were just jumbled together and in a very incoherent mess. The editing was the worst part of this film, and if the film had been edited better, it could have been a good film. It could have been an enjoyable film, but I think it was really the editing that truly made this film broken, a broken experience. Another thing that's being debated in the nerd community right now about this film is whether or not it's okay for this film to completely change the characters in the way that it did. For example, Batman is violent in this film, and not just in a Batman way. I mean, he straight up kills people. He straight up kills people and doesn't seem to encounter any kind of emotional turmoil about this. Now me, I am super pissed off about this. I don't fault Ben Affleck for this because he's not the one that made this decision. It was the writers, it was Zack Snyder, the director. It was a bigger issue. But is that necessarily a bad thing? I've heard some perspectives from you guys saying that it's okay to change characters every once in a while. It's okay to have your own interpretation, and I think that idea is valid. I mean, there's a place for artistic interpretation of characters, but personally I'm so upset by the idea that you would change what makes Batman fundamentally Batman. And what makes Batman Batman is his belief in nonviolence. He does not believe in murdering anyone, even the Joker, someone that should be 100% murdered, because the Joker causes so many problems in his existence that if Batman just murdered him, then it would save so many lives. But yet, Batman is in this almost murderous rage against Superman for I don't know what reason. I don't understand why Batman is fighting Superman in this film. I don't understand where the anger comes from. The film attempts to build that anger. It attempts to prove where that anger comes from, but I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced why Batman would intrinsically change his values in order to pursue Superman in the way that he pursues him. It seems to completely conflict with who Batman is. And that is, of course, my opinion. You are welcome to have your opinion in the comment section. You know, that's what the comment section's for. Also, yes, Lex Luthor is not technically in this film. It's really Lex Luthor's son. But the character is so quirky and strange that he's a difficult fit in this story. He seems to clash with the story and it almost seems like he was trying to go for a Joker-esque character, a very unstable, emotionally unstable character. And he didn't quite come off in the same charismatic way that, say, Heath Ledger did. Heath Ledger was able to play off Christian Bale so well. Luthor in this film seemed to just be clashing. He was like a puzzle piece that didn't quite fit. His role in this film was just strange and off, and I think that's because there was just so much that this film was trying to do, and there wasn't enough time to build that tension between Luthor and Superman. And now, there were some awesome action scenes during this film. When they introduced Wonder Woman in combat, it was one of the most badass scenes in the entire film, and it gave me complete goosebumps, and I can't wait to see Wonder Woman on screen again, which I have no doubt she will be, because this film in many ways was just an extended trailer for all of the DC movies that are going to be released in the next 10 years. I mean, there were seriously trailers throughout this film. This film had so much potential, and that's what I think after seeing this, is that it was just wasted potential. The biggest focus of this film really was the future Justice League film that they're planning someday. I mean, it was obvious they were trying so hard to introduce new characters, introduce new plots to use in future movies, and they did such a poor job of it. And after watching this film, my overall impression is that I am incredibly disappointed in it, and I would not recommend it to anyone, honestly. I would recommend maybe watching it when it comes out on Netflix or something. It's not worth the $10 or however much tickets cost in your country or your area. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. If your opinion is different, please share it in the comment section. I'm always open-minded to different ideas, but please be civil. And thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and subscribe. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter, and I should go. So, Netflix's Daredevil, does it live up to the hype? Is the second season any good? Yes! So I'm gonna just start off by saying that I really love action